What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here, and welcome into another video. We're going to be hopping into the Great League this time with a team that I think is going to really excel this season with all the nerfs to Lanturn and Whiscash. So that's going to be Jellicent, Umbreon, and Vigoroth. So Jellicent is going to actually get a nice buff thanks to Lanturn getting that spark nerf. So a lot less Lanturn coming around, and if you're going to see Lanturn, it's probably going to be Water Gun, which Jellicent is going to be able to resist. And Vigoroth is just going to be a straight up great Pokemon. This is an ABB lineup where you have the front Pokemon that's going to be resisting the counters and the two weak in the back. So very tanky team. Let's check out this team and hop into these battles. So great lead for us here, Annihilate and Jellicent, where you're doing super effective damage with the hexes, but we're taking double resisted from their counters. Gonna let the first move go through, as I know that was just not enough for the Shadow Ball, so there's no need for me to shield. Jellicent can take a hit, and they're gonna be end up shielding the Shadow Ball. A lot of lag going on here. Let me know down in the comments, are you experiencing this crazy lag again? Looks like they haven't even fixed the game. Unfortunately, it is what it is. So they hop into an Azumarill here. Now Azumarill is a little bit tricky to handle this, but Jellicent and Vigoroth can kind of handle their own against Azumarill. Vigoroth coming in, especially if you have an energy advantage coming into this Azumarill matchup. So going to be throwing up proper move timing here, throwing the body slam, and then hopefully we can get to another one. I have to no shield this. I don't really want to go all shields down, as one more Night Slash will KO. We die with the move. Unfortunately, we don't get damage registration here, which is a little bit unfortunate. And I miscount here. I should have thrown my Surf. That way I didn't have to give up my final shield. If I throw my Surf there, we would have been in a whole lot better of a situation. And it's a Bastion back there. So what I'm going to do is going to hop into my Umbreon. I'm not going to throw my move right away. What I'm going to do is continuously farming up just so I have double move to throw, but they are not swapping out. So if they would have swapped out to the Annihilate, I have the double foul play locked and loaded to hopefully get shield or knock out the Annihilate. And they're just not swapping out, which is quite fine by me, because my Umbreon is actually putting in a whole lot of work here. Can't really shield anything, don't have any shields left. And there's the Annihilate. We have the foul play here. Hopefully they shield this and I can swap back into my Jellicent since switch clock timer is up. And I misclick. I should be tapping the Shadow Ball there. If I tap the Shadow Ball there, I either force that Bastion to throw a move or we get to a Surf. So there is my downfall there. We ended up losing that game. Could have been a W, but it is what it is. So Shadow Swampert on the lead in the next game. Gonna stay in with a Jellicent. Throw on for 5 hexes because that's gonna be the proper move time. 3 versus 2. Because, well, we get to the first Surf after 4, and if we throw then, we're just going to give a full mud shot. So we definitely don't want to do that. Going to shield up the potential Earthquake, but they just go for the Hydro Cannon, and they go for the back-to-back. And again, all this lag is absolutely insane. So I'm going to throw one more Hex, and then the next Surf, as I don't want to get hit with another Shadow Ball, or not Shadow Ball, Hydro Cannon. And they hop into a Trevenant. I hard pivot into my Vigoroth, thinking that there's going to be a Skarmory back there. Usually with a Mud Boy, usually a Flyer is going to be coming in. So Vigoroth, good to bait it out, and then I have my Umbreon on that Trevenant, and Umbreon is a complete wall to energy. Seed Bomb is not going to do very much, and Umbreon is an absolute tank. It can take like 3 Seed Bombs to the face and not be phased. So gonna come in here with the Jellicent. I will shield it up. I do want to get some more Hex damage before I come in with my Umbreon, because they have a lot of energy. They hard pivot into the Trevenant, and I read that, going for the Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball, gonna grab the last shield, and from here all I have to do now is build up to the back-to-back foul plays. One to take out the Trevenant and one to take out the Skarmory. Not that the Skarmory had any energy anyways, so I just need one more Snarl. We'll have the back-to-back. This foul play should be enough to knock out the Trevenant, and if it's not, 1 or 2 Snarl should do the trick, and we're not in any range where a Seed Bomb is going to knock out. Look at 2 Seed Bombs taking us just below 50%, taking out the Skarmory as well, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. So Umbreon, it can be very good. I mean, I didn't want to choose, you could use Mandibuzz, but then you'd be double weak to Lanturn, and I didn't really want that, so that's why I chose Umbreon for this team. And then we have a Poliwrath lead. Jellicent just catching all the leads, you'll love to see it. Shadow Ball gonna get shielded, quite fine by me. My opponent not doing a counter there allows us to have a free Hex, which is quite a lot of damage. And I'm deciding now to come into my Umbreon against this Muck. This is a regular Muck, so Snarl's going to be doing neutral, and usually the standard moveset for Muck is going to be Thunder Punch, Dark Pulse. But even if it is a Sludge Wave, we're not going to shield because Umbreon can survive. Sludge Wave coming in, My goodness gracious. Gonna do 3 more snarls. Does a lot of damage, but Umbreon is able to survive that pretty comfortably. And then the move, we get the snarl down, which is quite fine. Able to get to this last resort just for some nice chip damage against this Poliwrath here. We're gonna get countered down, but that's quite fine by me. Jellicent resists all the moves. They hop into the Stunfisk. I'm throwing the Surf. Don't really need to, but honestly, that was the right play. We have 2 shield advantage, and from here, we're just gonna be able to shield once, farm all the way down. I shield this because Poliwrath, I don't want it to get a huge energy advantage coming out of this matchup. And now I have double Body Slam locked and loaded. So 1 Body Slam to take care of the shield, 1 Body Slam to put that thing super low. So hopping into the next matchup here, Jellicent into Jellicent. Quite a neutral matchup, honestly. Any mirror matchup is going to be a bait game. I'm going to shield the first one myself and then throw my own Shadow Ball. If they no shield this, it's not enough to one shot, but it's going to do a boat ton of damage. Look at that damage. You'll love to see it. In comes Amandabuzz. I hard pivot into my Vigoroth here. Now Vigoroth is an absolute amazing neutral game player. It can put things very, very low where you can either farm it down with the next Pokemon or grab shields. Like in this case, I can no shield this as well. I'm going to be able to make it to a Rock Slide after our bait. Rock Slide going to be coming in. This is going to do some nice super effective damage, but they decide to double shield. Double shielding Amandabuzz is absolutely insane because they would have survived that Rock Slide there, but I'm going to be quite fine by that. I'm going to come in with my Umbreon. All they can do is throw Aerial Aces, and then they have a Clodsire back there. So my opponent running a very bulky team as well. Although I do have the Vigoroth, this team is just a tad bit bulkier than mine. So gonna throw the foul play here just to get this thing kind of like almost in Surf range. I know it's gonna have to go into the yellow, but I want to make sure they throw energy before I swap. I tried swapping earlier, but it didn't let me. The game is in a terrible state actually. So Surf gonna put this thing into a range where I can possibly snarl it down, and I know one Earthquake is not gonna KO. So I'm gonna no shield this. I'm gonna throw the Surf after 1 more, and that is a CMP tie. Surf is gonna put this thing into a last resort range, which is beautiful for me. I'm very glad I did that, because now Aerial Ace is going to knock out. All I have to do is throw a couple more snarls here just so I have some extra energy coming out of this matchup here. So I throw 2 because I know they only threw the Aerial Ace, so they're a 1-off. Last resort, almost knocking out the Amandabuzz, and then we're almost going to have some... They try to come in with the Jellicent, we snarl that down, and then we have the foul play locked and loaded for that Clodsire when it wants to come back in. And that takes care of that. Good game, well played to my opponent there. So hopping into the next matchup here, Jellicent into Probopass. The spice is nice, everybody. This is a rock throw Probopass, so I don't really have to worry about the fast moves. Again, I'm going to throw after 5 hexes here for proper move timing. Serve, going to do a boat ton of damage here, and then I'm going to throw 3, getting a full hex through. They were probably trying to throw in the CMP tie, but I wanted to throw on proper move timing, so we get a full hex through. Gonna throw 1 more hex, then the Surf. That takes it out. In comes the Gourgeist. Okay, Gourgeist. I was gonna say Trevenant, but a Gourgeist it is. I'm gonna hop into my Vigoroth here. This one is not on hex. It is on Razor Leaf. But the good thing is, we get to the back-to-back Rock Slides here. That's gonna put them into a deep range, but they decided to shield that. Honestly, perfect for me. I'm gonna wait my Switch Clock timer out. Coming with my Umbreon, and it is a Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales again. So glad this is not Charm, because last resort's gonna be coming in. That is perfect. I'm gonna be coming in with Surf here. This is probably gonna be getting that final shield. No, it doesn't. Could have went for the Shadow Ball. I'm gonna shield this just in case it's the Gleam. It is an Ice Beam, so they must be running some weird moveset like Weather Ball, Ice Beam, but that doesn't really make sense to me either. But Psyshock, not enough to come in and take me out. We have the Shadow Ball locked and loaded. This is going to be grabbing the final shield of the matchup, and Umbreon is just in a clean sweep position here against this Ghost type. Poltergeist does damage for being resisted. This is an Umbreon, by the way, but it doesn't matter. We get to the foul play, and this foul play is going to say left, right, good night, and that's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent there, and that's going to be a 4-1 set. Could have been a 5-0 set, to be honest, but it is what it is. We take the games and we win them. We take the games that we win. So, hey, if y'all liking the content, please hit that like button. Comment if you want to see anything in the future, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it really helps with the channel and it is greatly appreciated, and we will see everybody in the next video. Bye bye.